And let's roll out, roll out, roll out, roll out, let's roll out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Food, Fitness, and Fun with my main man, DRE.
What's really good?
All right, DMX. Took him to church one time.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's really good. You had the bark
Hey, yo,
at the
bitch!
Yeah, I'm about to say. He said, what's the answer? The number 4. Let
Let me get some water.
You know what I'm saying? He said, nigga, we are in a restaurant. Why are you hollering? Classic Cat Williams shit.
Word.
And I'm JD, aka He Who Pods. That's the working name right now. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Might get some other shit popping. We're gonna get to this shit in a minute. So we're gonna dive right into our sponsored by, as per usual, as my daughter would say. Dre got this one. Take it away, Dre.
All right. So I'm about simple meals. The simpler, the better.
Yes.
Right? And for this meal, I'm coming off with the simple meat and veg. Now, some of you out there might call this paleo, keto, but this diet has been around forever. And I really call it a bodybuilding meal. Because bodybuilders have been eating like this since the 30s. Arnold and them figured that out. You know, you could watch, Pumping Iron, and he's like, oh yeah, we eat the patties, not the bread. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is basic sausage and vegetables. You don't have to put, you don't have to put a ton of meat in there, but you put as much as you like, you know what I'm saying? But you do want to put a ton of vegetables.
Yes.
And what this does is, if you're somebody that's trying to lose weight, a lot of times you want to cut down on your carbs. And this is actually a 0 carb meal because it's just meat in bed, but it will fill you up, keep you going. And I like to do these kinds of meals a lot of times as a pre-workout, just before I go to the gym. Let that protein get into my system, give it about an hour or so to digest. It's primed, it's ready. Off to the gym we go. So take a look at this. Takes less than 5 minutes to prepare. Just basically boiling the sausage, heating
Steam
up your
veggies.
Steam the veggies, and you're done. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. In and out.
Because so many times people say, man, it's expensive to eat healthy. It's expensive to eat healthy. And I'm like, no, that's only if you're trying to get everything organic and everything has to, be on that particular label or has to come from Whole Foods or something. This didn't come from any of that. Most of this stuff came from Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you can eat relatively healthy or healthy on a fixed budget, on limited budget.
Of course.
Everything doesn't have to be on some organic stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but hey, you go by what you can afford,
Absolutely.
It's not organic. What I'm showing you right now is not organic, but it's filled with fiber, protein, and all the veggies you need. So
that's great. That's it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm about to say this. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
That's it. Yeah. And it's true what you said. Like, you kind of bumped into a great topic. Like, people constantly say, oh man, it's so expensive to eat healthy. But it's like, if you're going out to eat, that's way more expensive than buying the veggies. I mean, the only way you could compete is if you're doing like fast food. I mean, you could probably get 100 McNuggets for $7, or $5. Right. Then maybe, but are you really just eating the 100 nuggets? You're probably getting fries, a shake, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
You can definitely buy a bag of frozen veggies and a sausage to make this meal for your family if you want.
Right.
Under that same amount of money.
Absolutely, man.
So
Absolutely.
it's a really bad narrative, um, and I'm glad that you kind of hit on that because people try to use that as an excuse a lot, where they're like, "Oh, nah, it's too expensive," and I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say that they're 100% wrong. Like you said, yeah, if you're looking for like the organic apples, yeah, the organic apples are gonna cost more. It's the same as if you're looking for the what they call it, farm fed chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. You
That's
want
the
it.
that's the thing, right? That's the quote
Yeah.
unquote better
Right.
version.
Right. Or I don't know, gluten free, or
Right,
the free range. I wanted
right,
a free range chicken. I
right.
mean, it's nothing wrong with that stuff, and I definitely understand in terms of you know the impact that it might have. I get that. But
Hmm.
if we're talking about really just saving money and having enough money and living on a budget, you can do it. You got to add a lot more veggies and stuff like that. But these things are not expensive.
Nope.
Um, and so you got to, something got to give. And I feel like a lot of times people are going by labels. When I mean labels, not just it comes from whole food, but it has to say paleo vegetables and
Right.
this is a keto steak. It's like you're getting caught up in those labels. You paying more for that garbage. Meat and vegetables has been around forever.
Right.
You know
Long
what
as
I'm
we
saying?
have.
And
Before we
longer.
have.
Right.
Right. Before we
People
have.
have been doing, and that's why I say like I don't go by the paleo diet or keto diet because they took that from somebody else. You know what I'm saying? As far as I
Absolutely.
know, Cat's been eating that way from the Arnold era. You know what I'm saying? This is, you're talking about the 50s, the 60s, the 40s. People
Right.
have been talking about, hey, you want to get in shape, you want the abs to show, okay, you got to eat less carbs. All right. And, up those veggies and, just eat the meat, throw the bread away.
Hmm.
That's nothing new. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but I feel like people rebrand things and
Of
and
course.
repackage it and now try to
That's the
get you to
way.
it's the paleo. I only eat keto,
Right.
whatever. So if you need to have keto on the label and you got to pay 3 or 4 times more,
Then that's
they
what you're
suck it.
gonna have to do.
They suckered you in. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Do your research and find out where that diet came from before it came to keto. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I said, cats was eating that way back in the days, and even before that, because actually having carbohydrates was actually hard to get, because in terms of like bread and rice and stuff, um, meat, you could just kind of eat whatever you caught. There you
Right.
go. That's your protein. And
Right.
vegetables was whatever was growing near you. You know what I mean? So if you
Yep.
want to go really that far back, but you know, don't get caught up in the hype.
Right.
And if you're trying to, lose weight or have low carb, this is a low carb situation, low carb selection that is not going to cost you a lot of money. Super
Right.
easy to do. That's all.
Super regular.
It's also super reg.
It's super regular, right?
You know what I mean?
Super regular.
Exactly.
So, speaking of eating and diets, let's hit our next topic. Chris Pratt recently did an interview. You put me on. He recently
Hmm.
did an interview with Men's Health,
Yeah.
you know, and he said he was doing a very specific diet, which we've done before, which we're fans of.
Yeah, it's a very good interview. I think people should check it out. Maybe we could put a link or something like that to it.
Yeah, I
Um,
can do that. So if you're watching it, the link will be in the description, and if you're listening, I'm gonna try to also put it in the description.
No doubt. It's a good interview. It's him being funny, but he's being very honest in terms of, hey, you know what? I tried a lot of different things. It's like, well, first he didn't care, right? Because he was doing Parks and Rec, and
Right.
being the chubby fat guy that's the character,
Right.
right? So it's like, just be that dude, have
Hmm.
fun, eat whatever you want.
Right.
But once he started getting roles where you got to be like a superhero, a marine, and running around, well, the body got to change.
Chasing dinosaurs. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you chasing dinosaurs and shit. It's like, whoa, okay, you gotta get your body in shape. And so he tried a lot of different diets. He's like, I tried this, I tried that, that didn't work. The thing that he credits for losing a lot of weight at a long time is the thing that you and I have known about for a long time, and that is intermittent fasting.
For me, actually, it was really about just kind of trying to trim body fat. So I did something called intermittent fasting, and I ate from like noon to about 6 p.m. That was my window to eat.
Right? We
Yes, sir.
both know from our own experiences that if you want to lose a lot of weight really quickly and not get like sick, intermittent fasting is a great tool for that.
Absolutely.
And you do it, and the thing is, you do it the way you want. Like some people will, they're intermittent fasting. I'm just going to skip one meal.
Right.
Some people will skip 2 meals, and then some people like you and I, and we didn't, do it overnight. We got to a point where it's like, oh, I'm gonna try this one meal and see how that works.
Right.
We know what's the brother that does one meal a day? Terry Crews. So we know
Oh,
Terry
he
Crews.
does. No. He does 8-6. He eats for 8 hours or six
Okay.
hours. He doesn't do one
Oh, yeah.
meal.
Okay. Well, he was doing OMAD at one point. I don't know if he changed it,
Well,
but
the last thing I saw from him, which was a minute ago, it was
yeah,
on GQ. It was
yeah,
everything Terry Crews does in the day, and he was breaking down how he eats. He pretty
yeah.
much eats lunch and dinner.
Right, right. And so, so when I heard that, okay, Chris Pratt does intermittent fasting, I thought, okay, maybe we could talk about this because it is a good tool if you're saying to yourself, man, I want to lose a lot of weight really quickly. And it's good. I feel, you can tell me how you feel. I feel it's good if you do it with exercise. I don't think, like, you could do it without exercising and lose weight. You don't have to exercise. But
Mhm.
when you add some muscle to intermittent fasting, I feel like it really gets things burning. You know what I mean? If you doing some cardio or some kind of exercise that you enjoy and intermittent fasting, you're going to burn things way quicker than
Yeah.
just, not eating, because we know muscle also helps burn fat. You know what I'm saying? So if you're, I suggest if you want to try to do some intermittent fasting, I suggest doing intermittent fasting with some moderate exercise. You don't got to go crazy with it, but something as simple as taking a walk. You wake up in the morning, you walk your dog, or you take a walk, or whatever time of the day you feel you can get an exercise in. Get the exercise in while you're fasted. That's how most cats do it. That's how I've done it. I know you've probably done it that way. Terry Crews has done it the same way. He's like, I
Yeah.
wake up, I don't eat anything, and I go to
Yep.
the gym. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? So doing fasted exercise is going to rapidly have you lose that fat and help maintain whatever muscle you have so you don't get that skinny fat look, which is kind of whack.
Skinny fat. I love it.
You know what I mean?
I love it. So, yeah. It's great hearing him speak about that. I'm gonna also try to put a clip of him speaking about it in this episode itself. Um, yeah, so you put me on an intermittent fasting years ago. We have done many different versions of it. At one point, yeah, we both did one meal a day. I did that because I was really struggling with weight and I was not very active. My life switched completely from, yes, I'm super active, to now I'm like not active at all. And he was like, yo, man, try this OMAD. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, cool, I'll try it. And I pretty much ate buffet style for 1 hour. It's like as much as I could eat in 1 hour. And then that was it for 24 hours. And that was cool. That was very helpful for me at that time. OMAD is not my favorite. I'll be honest. Exactly. OMAD is not my favorite. It is really challenging, especially if you're active.
Yes.
Because I find that when you do OMAD and you're out burning these calories, you're gonna get hungry because your body needs a certain amount of calories to continue to operate. And so when you're not consuming and you're just burning, it becomes very challenging. So it was hard for me when I became more active to stick to OMAD because I'm like, I am fucking hungry and I've still got 8, 12, 6 hours to go before I can put food in my mouth.
Yeah.
So I have also done where you only eat for 8 hours. I have done where you only eat for 4 or 5 hours. I've even done where you only eat for 2 hours. I play around with this shit all the time. I'm a really big fan of intermittent fasting because of what we know it does for our bodies that has been proven by science. So we know that when you're intermittent fasting, your body begins to clean up shop because now it's not consuming. When we eat all day, our body is busy trying to break everything up to where it needs to go. Okay, yeah, let's put some fat over here. Let's put this vitamin D over there. Okay, let's put this over here. And your body inside is doing all the things it needs to do. You've got a team in there, and the team is working. And the more we eat, the team is working all day, trying to make sure that it does everything it needs to do with all the stuff you're giving it. But we find, and there's documentaries about this and all type of stuff, we find that when we're not consuming, the body can start doing other things. It's like, oh well, the lungs were having some issues. We can go repair those lungs. Oh, there's this stored fat that actually doesn't need to be here. We can start dipping into this stored fat. Oh man, this high blood pressure is looking kind of crazy. Hey fellas, let's go work on this high blood pressure. And so your body begins to do other things simply because it's available. And there's other things and other terms that we can use, but I'm trying to break this down very simply for our listeners. And so because all those things are happening, you're getting all these different benefits. And that's why I like intermittent fasting. That's number one. Number two, I think it's great that he's shedding light on what worked for him, because we don't hear that a lot. A lot of times we hear the same bullshit of brown rice, broccoli, and grilled chicken. So I think it's great that he's saying, hey, I didn't do that stuff. I kind of did this other thing. And he said straight up, I've tried mad shit, and this is what worked for me. And I like when people do that because, one, I connect with it more. Two, it kind of gives you a sense of relatability because you see, hey, this guy's not perfect in just doing what the trainer said. He's not just some monster who looks like, Dwayne Johnson, and it's attainable. It's something that I could do maybe right now. That's why I like him shedding light on those things. And the reason I like intermittent fasting as well is because once you're done eating, you ain't got to worry about it. There's so much other shit. You don't got to, oh man, what am I going to cook for dinner? And oh man, I have to meet Dre and hit the gym. And what am I going to do after that? Oh man, now I've got to spend $30 going to, nope. No, you don't. No, you don't. And I say all the time when lockdown hit, that's when I really started buckling down on my intermittent fasting again, because I hadn't really been doing it for a hot minute. I jumped right back in. I was only eating for maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, some days even 2 hours. And I was just, all right, I've done all my eating. Let me tackle other shit. Pull out the checklist. You know what I'm saying? Get on the phone. All right, let me see what else I got to do. Okay, eating, done. All right, oh man, I got to edit this pod. All right, cool. Oh, all right, I need to do this. So much more free time now because I'm not worrying about cooking, going grocery shopping to get the things I need for tonight. It's done.
Right.
It's done. Yeah. And because I live alone, everyone may not have this advantage, but because I live alone, a lot of times that was also tomorrow's meal.
Yeah.
So if I made the sausage and veggies, then guess what? There was sausage and veggies for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so now I've knocked out 2 days. So I know everyone won't have that advantage, but it's a cool way to be able to do it. I think it saves time. I think it saves money.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that it does a lot of things for your body just on its own. And now to respond to the other thing you said, when you add that exercise, it gives you an extra boost. Okay? Think of it like when you're watching Fast and the Furious and they're trying to get that extra oomph and they hit that nitro. You know what I'm saying? And now niggas.
Yeah. Right.
That's kind of what happens, right? Yeah. So your body is already burning more calories. Your body's already dipping into stored fat, which is really a lot of our problems. And that's a topic probably for another day. And now you add exercise. You're right. Most people do it on an empty stomach. That's the better way, in my opinion, because now it's like 2 cans of nitro. You know what I'm saying? You burning super, super extra.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to do it, then you want to do it on a full stomach. That's not a bad idea either. But the point is, when you add that exercise, you're giving your body an extra boost. Why? Because that extra activity is making you burn more calories. It's making you dip into more stored fat. It's requiring more calories from your body to operate on a daily basis.
Yep.
And now you start looking like, oh man, look what's going on when I look in the mirror, man. Oh, that's looking good right there. Yeah. Oh man. Oh. Now you start feeling yourself a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that's the way I think is the best way to do it. I think intermittent fasting, I agree with you. I think intermittent fasting plus exercise is the best way to go.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think it's dope. We've both done it before. As usual, you put me on. And I like intermittent fasting. The people around me hate it, but I don't give a fuck. I'm not somebody who really dwells
Yeah.
on what the people around me want me to do. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, we can go to dinner, but I'll just have a seltzer water because
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I'm
already
fasting
ate
right
for the
now.
day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You want to
You
go to the
know,
movies? All right, just a drink for me. I won't have any popcorn today.
yeah. You know, and the reason why you don't hear about it a lot, that's why I'm so happy to hear him say it, like you said, to him talk about it, is because unlike keto and paleo and all these other diets, there's nothing for you to buy. There's
Oh
nothing
yeah,
to
it's not.
sell.
Yeah, it's
You
not.
know what I'm
It's not.
saying?
It's
It's
not
hard
something
to,
that you can monetize.
right. It's hard to monetize because it's just like, okay, don't eat.
Right.
And then when it's time to eat
Eat.
what you want.
Eat what you want to eat. Right.
Eat what you want. I don't care,
Right. What you want
but
to eat.
at this time, don't eat. And so when you're eating like that, it's like, wow, one, you can't monetize off of it. Two, honestly, when you get to eat, you normally don't want to just pig out or eat junk food because you know this is your only meal. So
Right.
most times when people do intermittent fasting, like, I haven't eaten all day, I need my first meal, basically
some
your
fly shit.
breakfast, to be something good and nutritious. I want
Terry
a
Crews said
good
the same
meal.
thing.
Everybody feels like that.
Terry Crews said the same thing. He said, "Listen, I will say one thing. It got to be a good meal when I finally break my fast." He said, He says probably the only downside of intermittent fasting, because you don't want your one meal or your meal, your first meal to be some bullshit.
Yeah.
You really want something tasty, fulfilling. That's probably the only downside.
Right. You want something, something nutritious. You want something that's good
Right.
for your body. Because
Right.
remember, like you said, your body is doing all this repair, right? And if you want to get the technical term for it,
Sure.
it's called autophagy, right?
Talk
So your
about it.
body is going through this point of autophagy, which means cellular repair. And so as it's going through all this cellular repair, right? It's like, man, I'm repaired a lot. To keep the lights on, I need energy now. So whenever you're ready with that food, son, let me
Right.
know.
Right.
Right? Because you can't do fasting for too long. Your body needs some kind of energy. So it done repaired everything it can repair. It's done did what it needs to do. Now it's looking for resources. It's looking for energy in the way of food. And you feel that. And so you feel your body saying, make sure it's the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like, no, pizza, get out of here. I don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, get that fish, get that steak, get those veggies, whatever it is. Like, get those beans, get that rice. Like, I want something good, man. I need to refuel and re-energize so I can do this for you again. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
Absolutely. And I'm actually glad we went to talk about it because enough people don't talk about it. And unfortunately, when it comes to diets, a lot of times people feel like, okay, they don't understand, like you and I, and this is what I want to talk about, is that a diet, like most other things, like the same thing with the gym, is just a tool. You use it for a particular time for what you need to use it for.
Right.
If you want to have a lifestyle where it's like, like a Terry Crews, whatever, it's like, yo, that's the only thing I do is intermittent fasting. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, But when you learn the different types of diets, and you can roll with different types of diets. You can say, hey, you know what? It's summer. I'm going to do intermittent fasting. The winter comes, I'm going to do something else.
Right.
I'll do a low carb, I'll do a whatever. But learning these different ways of dieting, it's like having different tools. It's like now you got a lot more on your tool belt. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So don't think of it as just only one way of living or one way of dieting. Think of it as just, okay, this is for whatever season you might need it for. We talk about this all the time, weddings and birthdays. And,
Right.
I'm turning 30. I want to make sure I look like blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, try some intermittent fasting. You know what I'm saying? See what that do for you. And a lot of people, like you said, don't like it. So if that doesn't work, then it's like, oh, that didn't work. You ain't like that? Okay, forget about that. Let's try some low carb. Let's see what that do for you. You know what I mean? Who knows? I don't know. But if you know that there's more than one way to skin the cat, then you can get a lot more out of your diets, and not feel bottled in and feel frustrated because you have to do it one way.
Right.
It's not true.
I agree. And I think that's one of the issues that people have when they get on these sort of crash diets, which we talk about a lot.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh yeah, I want to get my shit together. It's like, all right, there's mad ways to do that. It doesn't just have to be, I'ma just eat salads for the next week.
Right.
To be honest, I don't think there's anything wrong with eating just salads for the next week, but it's not the only way. There are other ways to do things.
Yeah.
Even right now, which me and you can speak about, I don't mind being a little transparent with the audience, with our good friends here on the show.
Right.
I got some tattoo touch-ups the other day. And so I've been doing much better in the last couple weeks with the gym. I have been pretty consistent. I've been hitting the gym, and if not, I've been making sure I get 20,000 steps. But I can't do cardio for like 6 weeks. What I told you, all right, I think I should just walk it out. And he was like, oh yeah, just get them 20K steps. Walk crazy like you already do. Just make sure you're hitting it. All right, what I sent you this morning, 20K. Right now, I'm already at close to 15,000. I'm going to hit my 20K. There's other ways you can do it. It does. Yep. I love the elliptical. I've been having fun with the jogging. If you follow us, I've been putting up some of those things, some of my workout stuff, but got to switch it up, right? So now what I'm going to do? I'm going to do zero cardio at all. I'm not going to do anything. No. Okay. I'm going to go into my utility belt like you just said, right? Well, I know I can't run. No. I know I can't do cardio. No. It's summer. I know, the pool's nice. The beach is nice. Can't do that either. Sorry. Right now, for the next 6 weeks, that's all off the table. But you know what I can do? I could walk 1,000 miles. You know what I'm saying? I could do
in
like
your
the song.
Own moccasins.
You know what I'm saying? I could do like the song and walk 1,000 miles. You know what I'm saying? Straight out the White Chicks movie. If I could walk 1,000 miles, that's it. So I'm getting these. My current plan is for the next 6 weeks, 20K steps, 5 days a week. And if I can make that 7 days a week, ooh, that's even sexier.
Oh yeah.
But the goal is 5 days a week, 20K steps. It's a different tool. You can do that with salad. You can do that with diets. You can do that with food. You can do it with sleep. You can do things to hit your goals. It's all about formulating a plan, saying I have these goals and these are the tools I'm going to use to get to those goals. That's it.
That's right.
So, anything else on this topic before we move on?
Real quick, like you said, you can eat salads. It's true. If you're like, a lot of people say, oh man, just a salad. A lot of times they're eating these tiny little salads. Oh yeah. If I'm like, yo, if you talking about, I'm just going to eat salad, go in on the salad. Have the big giant bowl. I was doing
and there's mad spots that you could go to now. Like if you're a person who's not home, you're busy. Oh, I got to eat when I'm at work. Guess what? I'm not going to say names because they ain't pay us. They ain't sponsor us. But there's mad places that just sell salads. Mad places that just sell smoothies. It's 2022. If you want it, it's out there now.
Right. Right. And so if you're going to say, hey, well, I'm just going to have salad, why only get the tiny little and then
Right.
complain about how you're starving all day? If you're
Because
going to have salad,
you
get
ate a
a,
salad this big.
yeah, get a big bowl. That'll
Right.
be like, man, and the tomatoes and everything is good, but man, I'm full. Now we
Right.
talking, you know? So yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
I
it.
didn't do the sponsor buy, but I actually sent you a salad that I ate the other day. I went to the
Mhm.
city. I had a day off. I said I'm gonna run errands, but I was fasting, and I started my day off with a big ass salad. I hit one of
Right.
these salad spots like we're talking about. It was like, yo, let me get the wild fly salad. It had all type of shit in it. Maybe that'd be my sponsor buy next time. But
No doubt.
I have all type of fly shit in it. Big ass bowl of salad. It was a great way to start the day. I only ate that and one other meal way later. I ate something like 8 or 9 hours later because I was great off the salad alone. You know what I'm saying? So
There you
yeah.
go. All
So
right.
that brings us to our next topic. Energy. How do we get energy? You want to start this one?
Sure. So we already kind of went into in terms of energy, in terms of like food, right? Food is a way, to have energy. But in this topic, I'm really talking about energy in terms of, when people are like, man, oh, I don't have any energy to go to the gym. I don't have any energy to walk. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have any energy to, do this or do that. Oh man,
It's
and
bullshit.
it is what it is. But I actually believe there's some truth to it because the way energy works is you have to give it to get it, right?
Okay.
If I'm waiting for some, like, I'm sitting on couch all day, I'm playing video games or watching Netflix or whatever,
Right.
and I'm like, oh, I don't have no energy. Oh, I don't have no energy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to get it. What happens when you actually get up and do a thing? Now you're telling your body, hey, we
Right.
need energy to do this thing. And
Right.
so you get energy by giving energy. You a lot of times you just got to get up and start. Don't wait till like this. I don't know where this comes from. This is another fitness myth where like some energy is just going to come from nowhere and you're just going to,
Right.
you know, get whatever. Like I see it a lot, especially like if you're the type of person who, when you wake up, you're supposed to be energized. Now, if you
Uh-huh.
wake up and you're not energized and oh, I'm still sleepy, maybe you didn't get enough rest. That's fine. All right, go back to
Mhm.
sleep.
Right.
But if you're waking up constantly and you're still tired and you don't have any energy, I challenge, well, what are you doing when you get up? Are you getting up and having, you know, six flapjacks and, sausages and whatever and putting all that back into your system, making you sleepy again? Or are you getting up and moving and doing something? You know what I'm saying? You want to go to the gym, but you don't have any energy. Sometimes you just got to go. The energy will come when you just go and do it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have any energy to take the walk. All right. No one's saying walk 14 blocks, but I'm saying walk the first block. After the first block, let's see how you feel. The
Right.
energy will come with the activity. Oh, I got a bike, but I don't never got no energy to ride it. Just get on it. You get on it, the energy will come. That's my whole
Mm-hmm.
point of this whole thing is that you have to give it to get it. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's kind of like when you get in a car, you got to warm up the engine.
Yeah.
So I understand your perspective. Um, I
And
think that sometimes you do feel sluggish,
yep.
but once you warm up that engine, it's easier to kind of get things flowing. I
Yeah.
do agree with that. I do think there are other factors as well.
Of
I
course.
do think sleep matters. I do
Hmm.
think food matters. I don't think that you're gonna feel tons of energy if all you put in your body is Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's. You know,
Candy and ice cream and shit. Yeah.
right?
That's
You
the
know,
and you're right. I'm glad you brought that up because those are a lot of people who feel sluggish. Oh, I feel so sluggish. And you just had like Subway or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you keep eating garbage and you want that to produce energy. You know what I'm saying? I know I feel it myself. I mean, I don't have a perfect diet. If I go
Right.
out and eat some sort of junk food, oh man, I want to have this pizza because I feel like having a pizza. Yeah, I'm gonna get sluggish.
Right.
But I also know when I have that bowl of veggies, I feel like, man, the veggies gave me that. Yeah, I'm ready to go out and do something now. You see what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So yes, the food does mean something. So you're not going to ever get the energy if you're, like they always say, garbage in, garbage out, right?
Yep.
If all you putting in is
Absolutely.
garbage, then how could you,
How could
you
you get
know,
anything else out of that?
yeah, you can't put bubble gum and candy and potato chips in your gas tank and want it to take off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like, I can't do anything with that. You know
Right.
what I mean? I'm gonna need that petrol, son.
Absolutely. And sleep. I've spoke about this before. Sleep was something I slept on, no pun intended, for a long time. For a long time, I was just burning the candle at both ends. And then one day, I was like, son, I can't keep doing this. He was like, son, because you don't fucking sleep. You need to sleep. It don't matter if you're taking the fly GNC vitamins. Don't matter if you're eating right. If you don't have any fucking sleep, you got to work twice as hard.
Yep,
And your body can't recover and reproduce and do all these other things.
no doubt.
And so it is a culmination of things.
Right.
It's not just, I'm going to eat salads. Hey, listen, you're going to eat the salads, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel light. You're going to feel energetic. You're going to be ready to go. Oh, man, yeah, I feel like I can do something. But not if you didn't sleep. If you haven't slept in 3 days, that salad is not going to matter. You got to get some good sleep, you know? And so I think that all those things are important. But yeah, what you said, I do agree with. I think, yeah, sometimes you just got to do it. I say that a lot. I say the days you feel sluggish and don't want to go to the gym, those are the most important days. I say that all the time.
Right.
Those are the most important days. And honestly, in my opinion, no facts here, just an opinion, I think those are the days when you feel amazing leaving the gym. I think those are the days when you feel like a god. You feel like Zeus walking out that bitch. You like, man, yo, I can do anything right now. I feel amazing. You know why? Because you know that you didn't feel like going. You know that you felt sluggish. You know that this was some challenging shit. But when you walk out, you know what you know? I fucking did it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
fucking did it.
Yeah. Now, there are a lot of people who become stem junkies, right? In order for them to have the energy to do something, they got to have their caffeine or some sort of stimulant to get
Okay.
them going, right? So, if, wait, before I go, I got to have a Red Bull. You know what I mean? Before I go, I got to get this caffeine. Before I go, I got to have my coffee. I got to have any kind of stimuli, become a stem junkie. I think that's a bad idea because, caffeine, like anything else, is just a drug. And the more you take, the more you have to take because your body gets used to it. If you haven't had caffeine in like a week or 2 weeks and you have some, it's like, man, right?
Right. That's very true, yes.
Yeah. But if you have caffeine every day, it's like, man, I feel something,
Right.
right? Your body gets used to it. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying caffeine is not a good tool sometimes to kind of get you going, but
Mm-hmm.
you should use that sparingly. That shouldn't be a daily thing you need to get off your ass. Now, if you got a lot of work going on, or you want to go that extra miles, like, man, I normally ride my bike 10 miles, but I got to do a bunch of things. I got to go for 20 miles. Well, maybe I might need that extra to get me going.
Right.
Okay, I can understand that. But these stimulants shouldn't be a daily thing to get you out of bed. Um, there's something called adrenal fatigue. Y'all can Google that if y'all need to. Your adrenals start to get so fatigued because you put too many stimulants in your body. Your body is always
Mm.
on hype, always on manic mode, and your adrenals will start to wear out. That's what fatigue means.
Right.
And if when you get adrenal fatigue, they don't come back. and you'll start to have a lot of like illnesses. So, you know, my advice to you is get off the stems, try just moving, just getting up and doing it. I know you think you need the caffeine, I know you think you need these stems, but my opinion and what Jay is saying as well, if you actually start doing that thing, the energy will come. You know, it may not be as instant as a caffeine. You might have to actually, get going for about 10-15 minutes and then feel like, oh, okay, it is coming. But
Right.
do the activity, it will come.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I don't think there's anything wrong with a coffee or a Red Bull or some kind of tea.
Right.
But we do have to be very careful with how much we consume these things. And this is something you and I have spoke about off pod as well, because I do drink coffee, and I've told you like, yo, and I've said it here, how we got to chill out with the lattes and the creme brulees and all that other crazy fly shit. It's not anything we haven't discussed before, but I don't think there's anything wrong with using it, because sometimes you do need that. Sometimes it's like, even if you slept 6-8 hours, maybe it wasn't quality sleep. Maybe you were tossing and turning. Maybe your kid kept waking you up. Maybe you had a lot of water and now you woke up 12 times to use the bathroom. Shit happens. So that day, if you have a coffee, cool. But yes, having a coffee every day, a Red Bull every day, relying on that chai tea every day, it can be problematic. So I would be cautious about how much you have it. I say the same thing about myself all the time. I'm like, oh man, this week I had a lot of coffee. I got to be better next week, because there's sometimes when by habit, and because I haven't been getting quality sleep or I haven't been getting enough sleep, I'm like, oh, I didn't get enough sleep. I need that extra oomph.
Right.
So I'm going to get a coffee. But one, we don't get the small, we get the fucking ginormous cup.
Supersize me.
Supersize me. Give me the big gulp. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And number two, you don't need it every day. You have to be cautious about what you're consuming and how much. If you're having a little bit of coffee like this, just a little sip of the cappuccino, it's not the end of the world. But we don't have a little sip of the cappuccino. We have a fucking a venti. We have a fucking Dunkin' Donuts large, which is like 40 ounces. You can't have 40 ounces of anything every day. Like, that's a lot. Or I'm not only going to pick on the coffee drinkers. Red Bull, Pepsi, Coca-Cola,
Right.
Plenty of our listeners, we know y'all. Y'all drinks the Pepsis and the Coca-Colas.
Right.
And you're not having a can. If you had a can of Coke every couple of days, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But you're not having a can of Coke. You're having a 20 ounce, a 1 liter, a 2 liter.
Yeah.
It's way too much.
What I've been sipping on this whole time has been soda, by the way. But it's
I want to ask. I was trying to let you
it's all
know.
good. It's a caffeine-free diet soda. So
okay.
it's 0 calories. Probably can't see it.
Probably.
So I could drink this whole thing and have no calories.
Right.
And it's no caffeine.
Holla.
So
yeah, I've been having a black
I'm not gonna
cherry
say
seltzer water.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's healthy, but I'm not going up and crazy. I'm not stemming out.
Right.
And I'm not drinking a bunch of, sugar. It's artificial sweetener. Some people have their opinions about that. But I'm a calorie dude. So it's like, as long as it's low calories or no calories, I don't care. You know what I mean? But I don't do stems. I don't do caffeine stuff, caffeine free all the time, period.
Right.
And even when I have coffee, I have decaffeinated. I have a coffee every day, but it's always decaf. You know what I mean? Like,
Nice.
I just like the taste of it, and then I keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Got you. So, Comic-Con just happened. San Diego Comic-Con, to be specific.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking announcements. Marvel has shown us everything they plan on doing, or most of what they plan on doing, for the next few years. We now know the rest of their big fly plan for this saga. So we now know phase 4, 5, and 6, most of what will be coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And people are very excited. People have a lot of feelings. And we both watch this stuff. So I figure I'll let you chime in, I'll start this one. I don't mind starting. Um, I'm not excited. I have to be very honest. Um, to me, Phase 4 has not been super hot fire. Phase 4, which is the current list of Marvel that we're in, which starts with Spider-Man. Actually, no, it starts with what? Shang-Chi, right?
Yeah,
Oh, if you're going by the TV shows, it starts with WandaVision.
that's right.
I was thinking movies. So it starts with WandaVision,
Right.
and it's everything up to Black Panther, which comes in November.
Right.
Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, will end Phase 4. I have to be honest, Phase 4 has probably been the weakest phase thus far, in my opinion. It has not been super hot fire. I'm not impressed that y'all added 700 TV shows. And I feel like they are doing a lot in a little bit of time. Phase 1, 2, and 3 took 10 years. They're now doing 4, 5, and 6 in what, 3 years, 4 years? That is a lot less time. And I feel like that's part of why we're getting subpar product. Because I feel like they're so focused on quantity that we haven't gotten any real quality. Like, my favorite question to ask people is like, all right, what's the best one so far? And people really got to think. You didn't have to do that before. Before, it was much easier to be like, oh, this was good. Oh, that was good. Oh, these two are great, but this one's the one I like better. What's the banger from Phase 4? What's the hit from Phase 4? What's your favorite from Phase 4? You probably really got to think on that shit.
Yeah.
So I figured this is a fun topic that we could play around with and be silly with. We could add this for the end. And I know some of our listeners are also into these things. So I'm really not excited. I'm excited about Wakanda Forever. I'm excited to see how they bring Namor into this realm. And even the end, like going up to Phase 6, Kang the Conqueror, Kang Dynasty should probably be its own part 1 and part 2. To do everything Kang Dynasty in one film is a tall order. And then the next film, Secret Wars, that really don't excite me either. Secret Wars could be real fly. They finally have 90% of their characters, 80% of their characters. It could be super fly.
Yeah.
That's also not something that should be one film. That's a big ass event. So I feel like one, Marvel got to step up their shit if we're going to keep me here all the way till Phase 6. Because I'm not the kind of person who just like, well, it came out, I'll watch it. If y'all don't keep me entertained, I will quickly, gracefully bow out and be like, hey, y'all can keep watching them shits if you want. I'm done. I have no problem with that. I do that all the time, which is why I don't watch a lot of TV shows, because if you don't keep my interest, deuces.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how it goes. It's weird to me that Wakanda Forever is the end of this phase, because a phase usually ends with like an Avengers or something big.
Right.
And yes, Wakanda 2 can be big, but it's not an Avengers level movie. So I'm curious to see how this goes. Thunderbolts will end Phase 5. That's kind of like the Dark Avengers. That's like their Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. So I'm very curious to see how this goes. Yes, I am curious, but I'm not very excited. And I feel like if y'all want me to stick around, if y'all want fans to stick around, you got to start cranking out some good shit. So, What are your thoughts?
You know, I have to agree with you on a lot that you said. So I'm not big into, Marvel made 18 announcements. I want to see what the lineup is going to be.
Right.
I could care less.
Right.
I usually judge each movie or each project on their own 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I know that they're all related and I've seen them all, but this shit got to stand up on its own 2 feet. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yes,
okay, Wanda was Wanda, Strange is strange, Spider-Man is Spider-Man. When I'm sitting down to watch that movie, entertain me, you know.
Right.
Yes, I know how it all interlinks, but make it dope.
Right.
So that's the way I kind of like see things as a viewer. I don't work for Marvel. I don't give a fuck what your whole plan is. So
Right.
what? You know what I'm saying? Now, the one thing that we're probably differing on this is I saw the Wakanda Forever trailer, and I know it broke the internet or whatever. But honestly, for me, I wasn't all that excited, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And the reason why I'm not all that excited doesn't it has less to do with the movie and the more to do with where I am as a person. And
Okay.
maybe some people might feel like this, where it's like when the first Black Panther came out, right? Years ago. It was super exciting. It was like, oh my God, it's like these Black people in Africa finally on the big screen doing all this fly shit. And it was great. And people dressed up and went to the movies, and it was like a phenomenal joint,
Right.
right? But like any relationship, after a while, this the passion starts to fade.
Right.
And for me, it was like, this is nice, this is cool, but Marvel, I'm not that in love with you the way I was a few years ago. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It's like I grew up as a person and as a fan. So it's not enough for me at this stage for you to just put these characters up front and put them on the screen and me to somehow believe that has something to do with Black liberation or some
Right.
shit. You know what I mean? Because it really doesn't.
Right.
So I just feel like I've matured as a person. I think a lot of people have. You know, there's this you may have even been a person who sent it to me, but there's this brother that was talking on the morning show, you know, with Charlemagne and all them cats. And he was like, yeah, this is cool, this is good, but you know, um, all we doing is putting a lot of money into Marvel's pockets as Black people. And what does that say for ourselves? What does that say for our businesses, for our projects? You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I'm like, okay, yeah, it's cool and all, but I see a system here. You know
Right.
what I mean? And I see a system that's being built on one, putting up these illusions and having us sort of like praise these illusions and really not addressing like the real shit that's going on. Disney. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it won't be dope or whatever, but I'm just kind of like, when it comes out, I'll see it. I'm not
Uh-huh.
super excited. I'm not like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that has to do with a lot of the movies. You know, I mean, it's like, I told you off pod. It's like, well, did you see Thor? Yeah, I saw Thor. It was cool. You know what I
Right.
mean? It wasn't as good as the first Thor was. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's losing a lot of luster because it sounds like the song I've heard already. You
Right.
know what I mean? You're not bringing anything new
Right.
to this joint. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of like, eh, whatever. And that's the way
Right.
I feel about this this Wakanda trailer. You know, I'm like you, I'm curious on, oh, how you gonna bring this dude in? How you gonna bring that in? How you gonna explain, this brother's death or him being missing? Is it the blip or whatever? There's some curiosity there, but it's
Right.
not an excitement. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Who's gonna be the new Black Panther? We're all waiting. Everybody's breaking down the little details of the trailer. You could tell
Right.
us this one or tell us that one. You know, I'm like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not really all that excited about it as I was a few years ago when it first came out. And I was crazy amped about it. You know,
Right.
when it comes out, will I go see it? Sure, I'll go see it. Yeah, I'll go
Right.
check it out. But it won't be me like, ooh, I'm gonna dress up and before I must have saw like 3 or 4 times in the theater. You
Of
know what I mean?
course.
And what did that 3 or 4 time do to these Black communities? Nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that was just more money in Marvel/Disney pocket. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, eh. whatever. I'm not
Right.
really all that excited. We'll see how it goes. And I agree with you in terms of the phase 4 and how fast things are coming. You and I have said years ago how, you know, the one thing we respected about Marvel is how they kind of like slowly let things marinate.
Yep.
And we criticize DC because we see DC trying to speed up to catch up to Marvel. And we like, son, don't do that. Go
Right.
in your lane, go the speed you need to go. There's no
Right.
reason to try to have um Avengers really quickly. There's no need to have Infinity War on the DC side of Infinity War, so
Right.
fast. It's like, slow down. If y'all
Right.
slow down and let it marinate, you can actually develop a great story, and that's what would get people. We
Yes.
go back mad years to that first Iron Man, right? I mean, that's like years and years ago now. But if you
2008.
2008, when you watch it, it's like, yo, even to this day, this is a good fucking movie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
you already know everything. You know Tony's dead. You know the whole thing. But if you sit down and watch it, it stands up on its own 2 feet. You're like, yo, this first Iron Man is still fucking good. It's
Right.
still a good movie because they took time with it. They wasn't rushing it. And I feel you with that. I do feel the rush with a lot of either it's the television shows or the movies. You feel like, like why are you rushing? Where are you rushing to? I
Right.
know y'all need to make that money. I know Disney is on y'all ass. It's like, more
Right.
product, more product. But tell them to chill. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Tell them to chill so that you can put out a decent product that stands on its own 2 feet, not just to fit within a segment of time, but to stand the test of time.
Yes.
Throw those movies out there. That's like, yo, even though it came out in 2008, shit is dope. Even though it
Right.
came out in 2012, it's just hot.
Right.
That's what I want to see. I want to see the next fly joint, and not feel rushed. And the past few movies, for me, that's the way they felt. So I haven't been excited about Marvel
Yeah.
in a while.
I feel that. I feel that. And my thing is, what are y'all gonna do to keep us here? Because simply copy and paste the same comedy partial action is not gonna do it. It's not.
Right.
Like, I don't, not for me. I don't think everyone is gonna keep coming just to laugh and see a funny movie with insert favorite hero.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't.
And another thing we've been saying, and I challenge people who are maybe not as into it as we are, because I often do this. I know you probably do too. I challenge people like, yo, if you don't read the comics, at least watch some of the animation. Even though the animation is animated, the people who write those stories take their story way more serious.
Of
You can
course.
feel the drama in that shit.
Of
Not to
course.
say that there's no funny moments, but they take that shit seriously. The actors are going in. The characters are really deep diving into whatever the actual problem is. It seems more complicated. Things are not just black and white. It's a
Yeah.
lot of gray, and you got to, as a person that's watching, you got to kind of work through it. It challenges you, like, is that all right? I'm feeling kind of complicated about this hero, So the
Yep.
animation, whether DC or Marvel, in my book, and I know you feel the same way, like, yo, they go in on that,
Yep.
but there's a big disconnect when it comes to the movies. The movies is just like, dumb it down, dumb it down. Audiences can't handle complex shit. Keep dumbing it down, and it
Yep.
loses so much to me because I'm just like, man, if it's probably been dope if y'all would have just either stayed with the comic or just rocked with that animation because that shit was kind of dope, But
Yep.
yeah,
And it's okay if they don't want to do those things, but not just this same comedy shit. Like, I was reading an article about She-Hulk,
mm-hmm.
and it was described as a comedy series coming
Mm-hmm.
to Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
That hurt to read. A comedy series coming to Disney Plus. That hurt my feelings.
Yeah, because I was a kid. I remember when She-Hulk first came out. You know,
Come
when they
on
started
now.
hitting the comics. You know what I'm saying? It was some real shit. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, Bruce, you're wilding. No one can stop you. I'm gonna have to step up. What the fuck? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It was like, whoa, some complicated shit right now. And I'm
Right.
reading this as a fucking kid. It was just like,
Right.
you know, because you lack the intelligence, you know what I'm saying? Like I have to step in and be this really smart, really intelligent, really strong like woman and, you know, get in. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It was like, damn. I look forward to seeing stuff like that, you know, but
Right.
yeah, you when you make everything some sort of like weird satire, weird comedy, and you just put out these like BS lines that you think are going to get a laugh. It just sounds so corny. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you're just saying, you know, they call prose. You're just saying these things because you know most people will get this laugh or get that laugh, and you're not challenging the audience. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I watch a lot of stuff, and I know you do too. One of the things I'm into right now, I don't know if you ever seen it, is this series on HBO called Westworld. Right?
Oh no, my dad and sister have been watching it for eons.
Son,
They
I'm
love that shit.
gonna say one thing to you, and then you're gonna be like, okay, now I gotta go see it. You fucked me up. The latest series, we're in season 3 right now, is being directed by Jonathan Nolan. And
Ah.
I told you. I was told once I say it, you're gonna be like, oh shit. And this dude keeps fucking with your head. Am I watching this time, that time? This motherfucker is like, yo, try to keep up, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's
Right.
crazy. And I want to be mad at him, but every week I got to come back and check this shit out because where are we going with this, Mr. Nolan? What are you
Right.
doing right now? And he's just like,
Right.
yeah. And they after it's over, they have like a little like talk or whatever, kind of talk about the episode, what went into it. And he's always just like, yeah, I kind of wilded out with this one. I wanted to see where we can push the envelope.
Right.
I wanted to check out. I'm just like, yo, you had me. Like, that was crazy. And the things for me that makes it good is like, I might be angry at the direction that you took, but it was dope. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like, I didn't expect it. I'm like, where are we going? I don't understand this trip that you got me on. But that is enough for me to keep me watching because I'm super intrigued. Like, yo,
Right.
is that the past he talking about? Is that the future? Is
Right.
that a robot bitch or is that a, you know what I'm saying? It's nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's nuts. But they go there on Westworld. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, you know, that's what I'm looking for when I see something. I want the complex shit, man.
Right.
You know, and maybe it's me as being a more matured audience member. You know, I'm not 15. You know, I understand
Right.
for 15-year-olds, you do have to make it super simple. You know,
Sure.
that's why I didn't watch Miss Marvel.
And I challenge that.
Yeah, but it's like I didn't watch Miss Marvel because it was like, okay, honest, you're telling me this is not for me. You know what I mean? I'm almost feeling like a pedophile watching it. Like, what, this for kids? What the fuck is
Right.
going on here? You know what I mean? Like, I don't watch this shit. What the fuck are they, you know? It just, it's so silly. Whereas you take something that's for high school students but was written really well, like Cobra Kai, it's like, oh, yeah, this is for high school kids, but I can definitely dig this story. Like, I like the way it's written. It's a little complex. Johnny, LaRusso, they're complex characters and their students are fucking complex. So the good and bad, you miss who's good and you don't know who's good and bad and which one is the good guy? Who knows, right?
Right.
Because they're all kind of like human beings with emotions, making good decisions, bad decisions. You can relate to that. I like that kind of writing. Marvel is just super simplistic right now, and it's just
And
not my thing.
even if you've been simplistic, cool. When do we now up it?
Yeah, right.
Well, that's my question. It's like, okay, but everything is about evolution, right? Y'all are getting bigger villains. Y'all are going into space, multiverses, but nothing is evolving with that.
Yeah, the only thing that's growing is the comedy. right? Okay,
That's it.
Guardians of the Galaxy, funny. I get it. Fine. You made a part 2 because it did really well. Still funny. I get it.
Right.
You bring them in on shit that they really had nothing to do with because they're funny. I get it.
Right.
But I can put that to the side and forgive that as long as you're not sacrificing all your characters to be like Guardians of the Galaxy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, you want everybody to be like Guardians of the Galaxy? Is that the formula right now?
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean? Shit is whack.
Yes, it is the formula. And my thing is, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, cool. That's what y'all been doing. It's been working. Great. But at what point are we elevating? Because y'all are cranking out 850 things a year now. Clearly an exaggeration. But y'all are pumping out a lot of shit. It's not going to be one that's dark. It's not going to be one that's all the way serious. Because my thing is, then give us balance, right? If it's going to be mad funny shit, then let me know, like, okay, these people are funny, but this guy's not funny at all. And then this woman is going through a lot of challenging shit, and this is super dark. And then this person is straight up depressed all the time. Because now I've got a range of shit. It's not just, hey, it's all comedy all day. Because this ain't Comedy Central. It's Marvel.
Right. And with that Thor movie, they have so much range. You have some great fucking actors. Two of my favorites. Favorites.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? You got my girl, you got my dude. You know what I'm saying?
Come
you
on,
got
man.
Christian Bale being the
Come
bad
on,
guy,
man.
which means,
And he bodied it.
and he's like, yo, son, when it comes to range, I got you.
What y'all want to do?
He bodied it so well, they had to cut his scenes because
Come
he
on
was
now.
going in.
Too much.
I'm like, the only reason I would want to even see a DVD is to see his extended scenes because
Absolutely.
Christian Bale was like, yo, okay, I see what this dude is. I get his inspiration. Go, you know, action. Let me show you. And was like seriously going. It was so deep that the director, which he's a more comedy dude. He's like, okay, now Christian, you're going too dark right now.
Going too dark now. We gotta cut that out.
But it's like, yo, but this you gotta understand why he did what he did. Like, he's wild like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want people to feel his pain, his anger. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, is he really the bad guy here? Because these gods was fronting on him his whole life. And, I just saw his daughter die in his hands. So he's like, yo, like, his daughter died in his hands and this dude don't care. And so you need to
Just
feel
laughing at him.
what he's feeling. You know what I'm saying? So he went in too deep. Natalie Portman, it's like, okay, she has cancer and she's using the hammer as a drug. That's how she was coming at it. But they wasn't allowing her to be on some like, yo, drug addiction type shit. She was reading it like that. Like, yeah, I'm doing this thing to actually not deal with this real problem that I have. And so I'm just going to stay laced up on this drug called this hammer. And so she was looking at it on this like real fly adult way of seeing things, which is like, yo, you can really have some like dope messages in here. And they're like, more jokes. You know, I'm like, okay, I get it, but you're missing some dope ass opportunities here.
That's what I said somewhere else, that I think there have been a lot of missed opportunities this phase. A lot of them.
Yeah.
So we can leave it there.
Yep. All right, bro.
Let's get up out of here. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in again. And we'll be back in a minute.
See y'all next time.
Later.
Deuces.